Hi, I'm going to show you some samples of some things that we can do with the cookies as we decorate them. I'm going to get a little bit of water for this bowl. I don't need much. I want this little brush, and I might not need it for a little while, but I'm going to have that sitting right there. First, I'm going to tell you there's two things that we're going to use. I have two different recipes. One is just called sugar cookie icing, and it's very simple. It's 1 cup of confectioner sugar, powdered sugar. It's the same thing. 2 teaspoons of milk, 2 teaspoons of light corn syrup, as you see here, 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract, and I have various food colorings that are very, very strong. So I'll have toothpicks, and all you need is just a little bit at a time. You don't want more food coloring than you need to get the vibrant color, but these are very strong coloring for food. That is an icing. It is, in a small bowl, you stir together confectioner sugar and milk until smooth. You beat in the corn syrup and the almond extract until the icing is very smooth and glossy and shiny. If it's too thick, you add a few more drops of the corn syrup right here. It says to divide it into separate bowls, and I have disposable bowls that we'll use for this, and then you'll add whatever food colorings you want to the different areas. In our classroom, we'll share. Somebody will want a little bit of green, but won't want all of it, and once they're done, they can pass it on. So we'll do that throughout the class. You can either dip the cookies down in, or you can use a spoon, and the back of the spoon is really good for just sort of brushing it on, put a little dollop on and brush it on, or a knife. Or if you want real fine work, you can use toothpicks. I have those. I don't have paintbrushes and things like that that are for food. So that's one of the ways that you could decorate. The other way is I have made some fondant, and it's an interesting thing. I have the recipe for it, and let me just show you what goes into it. It is right here. It is 1 bag of marshmallows, and a lot of times fondant doesn't taste good, but I have found this one, and it has a good flavor to it. It's 1 bag of marshmallows, a 1/4 cup of water. You melt the marshmallows, you add a 1/4 cup of water and a teaspoon of vanilla, and then you put in 2 pounds of confectioner sugar. And here's what I just got through making. This was one recipe. Is right here. I have it all wrapped. You don't want to leave fondant out and expect it to be nice and workable. So it's supposed to be room temperature. Right now it says the directions say for me to wrap it, put it in the refrigerator, and then bring it back to room temperature before you use it tomorrow. I will do the best I can to get it out. It's pretty solid. I did take a small portion of it out because I just wanted to show you. What you'll do is take a little bit. It doesn't take much to have the effect that you want, and I'll show you some samples of things that can be done in just a little bit. It's very pliable, a little bit sticky, and if you find it sticky, I have these little bags, and all they have in them is some powdered sugar, and you just dust it, and you'll dust it on. If your table should be clean and sanitized, and that's probably the best surface to work on. You'll just have to make sure and get it cleaned afterwards. But you don't want too much powdered sugar because I've already put a lot in. But if it gets a little sticky, that's what you can do. Just push it around. I'm going to use a little bit of green. I have a pretty strong green paste food coloring, and I'm just going to put 1 drop, if you see right there. I'm going to close that up because I don't want it, and I'm going to just sort of work it in and see what color it comes to real quickly. And I'll just, some of your hands may get a little messed up. You'll see I need some more powdered sugar on my hands. I want to get the coloring all in the, seems like I've got as much on my hands as I do on the fondant, but you see it's starting to get green around, but it is sticky. pull a little bit more. And I just sort of do it up and down so I don't get too much on there. And I'm gonna, I mean, if I wanted a marbly effect, I could do that. I could stop right there and roll it out. Hopefully you still have access to cookie cutters that you used. I'm sorry I didn't think to remind you to do that. But what's the easiest thing to do is to use the cookie cutter that you used initially. I may do a Remind 101. You see what a pretty green this is turning into? I still see a little bit of white, but I'm going to sprinkle this around. I'm going to sprinkle this on top. And I have, some of the kitchens have these little rolling pins. They're pastry rollers, or you can use your regular rolling pin, but I'm going to roll it out. And my goal is to have it pretty thin. I don't need it thick like I did, so we're not using the dowels with this. I need a little powdered sugar on it just to keep it from sticking. You see, I'm getting a real smooth little thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take, here's my cookies right here. I'm going to take my cookie cutter and I'm going to cut the same exact shape with just a little bit of water and my pastry brush, and each one some of this, but I'm going to just very lightly put the water on top of my cookie, and when I lay this on it, it will sort of just melt into the cookie. At this point, it will attach itself. Then I can go get some other colors, and I can make initials, I can stripes, I can do any kind, little circles all around it, polka dots, all different colors. I see I have some powdered sugar on top, and so every time I put something else on this for it to stick to it, I will put just a little bit of water. I don't want much because I don't want this to be soaking wet. I want it to dry quickly. But that's the beginning of how you can start decorating a cookie. I will show you some pictures of some that we have done before. Once you get done with some of your color, you roll it up in a ball, put it in a wrapper. I have the service wrap or the saran wrap that's out. Wrap it up and give it to somebody else and let them use it. Hopefully throughout the class we'll have maybe all the colors, and people would say, I just need a little bit of brown, or I need a little bit of this red, and we'll have enough. So have fun with this. I look forward to seeing what you make.